Hello, everybody. We finally made it to Friday. Rachel Bogle here at the WMBF First Alert Desk. If you're joining in, as always, hello, Vera. Beat me to the punch. If you're joining in on Facebook, that's the stream I have up here on my phone. So if you want to go ahead and chime in, just say hello. Let me know where you're watching from, or if you have any questions about any of these stories or just want to interact, that's where you can do it. Just get in the comments there. And if you notice me looking down, it's because I'm making sure that I'm all caught up with responding to any questions you might have or just kind of chit-chatting. I mean, it is Friday. We can do it our way, right? Okay, so we do have several stories, though, that we have been following for you today, starting with this one. This is one we have been closely following for you for over the past 24 hours now. So we are continuing at this point to follow the latest on a series of wildfires in Horry County yesterday. So Horry County Fire Rescue confirms a 200-acre fire that forced evacuations off Dirty Branch Road in the Conway area is now under control. Fire crews, though, are still on alert because there is still some potential for flare-ups. There's still some pretty hot embers there, still some smoke visible. Right now, though, burn bans are still in place until further notice. So that would be for the city of Conway, unincorporated areas of Horry County and Georgetown County. Again, those are in place until further notice. Right now, you're looking at some drone video from that fire in Conway along Dirty Branch Road. So also notable today, the South Carolina Forestry Commission issued a statewide red flag fire alert, and that means the wildfire danger is increasing, so outdoor burning could become difficult to control. And while that statewide red flag fire alert doesn't ban outdoor burns, the State Forestry Commission is really just strongly encouraging folks just not to do any outdoor burns. And of course, though, you still have to follow state and local laws like the burn bans that are in place in the areas I just mentioned. Again, City of Conway, unincorporated areas of Horry County, and Georgetown County. Again, bans are in place there. And those will take precedence again. So make sure you're following all those laws just until we get kind of the all clear, because you certainly don't want to, put anyone else's homes, buildings in danger, yourself in danger, of course, because we are now in wildfire season here in South Carolina. All right, on to this next chapter in a story we have been following for well over a decade and a half now. So the longtime girlfriend of Brittany Drexel's convicted killer is now challenging her prison sentence. Documents filed today down in Charleston show Angel Voss, you're looking at there on your screen, is appealing her 18-year sentence that a judge handed down earlier this month. So not surprising. We are used to seeing appeals after sentencing. Certainly not anything new, but just to kind of reframe all of this for you and catch you up. If you have not been closely following this story, this all comes after Angel Voss pleaded guilty last September to making false statements to FBI agents related to her involvement in Brittany Drexel's disappearance back in April of 2009. That was while the 17-year-old who you're looking at here, while she was visiting Myrtle Beach during spring break. So Voss's boyfriend, Raymond Moody, pleaded guilty in 2022 to kidnapping, raping, and killing Drexel. He is now serving a life sentence in prison for those crimes. So far, though, a judge has yet to publicly acknowledge Angel Voss's request for appeal, but we will keep you updated on what happens with her case. Remember, as I said, we have been following the Drexel case since it happened, so we're talking about the last 16 years at this point. You can catch up on all of our very extensive coverage and review the entire timeline of events and, the big points in this case. All of that can be found over on WMBFnews.com and through the free WMBF News app. All right, and then another story here impacting dozens of parents here in the Grand Strand. A Grand Strand daycare suddenly announcing it's got to shut its doors, leaving dozens of parents scrambling to find childcare alternatives. So the Oxford Children's Academy, this is in the Carolina Forest area, says the building's owners did not renew the daycare's lease, forcing it to shut down with about less than a month's notice. The academy says it had been serving the community for nearly a decade, and this sudden closure is now leaving around 100 kids without a daycare and over a dozen of its employees without a job. So we do know OCA is working to try and help those parents find alternative childcare options for their kids. The academy's staff tell us their last day in operation will be coming up March 21st, so less than a month from now, and then they have to be out of that building by April. All right, and then I'm going to pop myself back up here. We do not have video for this next story here, so I'm just going to kind of tell you what we know. This is an update from a story we first brought you yesterday, as we now know the name of the man whose body was pulled from Georgetown's Harbor Walk Marina yesterday afternoon. The Georgetown County coroner has identified that person now as 72-year-old Bryant Blakesley of Columbia, South Carolina. His cause of death had not been released when we spoke with the coroner's office today, but the coroner says an autopsy was scheduled to take place today, so that's going to be what officially determines cause and manner of death. So we still are waiting to receive that report and learn all of those details, and once we get that, we'll be able to bring all that new information to you. Meanwhile, though, if anyone knows anything about this case, you are asked to contact authorities at 843-545-4300. All right, let's go ahead and lighten things up. What do you say? All right, so we've been talking about this quite a bit in the lead up, but today is finally the day. The Myrtle Beach Marathon is happening tomorrow. The race kicks off at 6:30 in the morning, bright and early, with the wheelchair group taking off first. Then the full and half marathon runners will get going at 6:35, followed by the folks doing the 5K. That will get going at 7:30. Also, just know when it comes to you drivers, yes, this will impact you as well. If you are not a runner, depending on where you're trying to head tomorrow, especially earlier in the day, and then up until about noon or so, this really could impact you if you're trying to head out and about in your vehicle. So you will want to go ahead and check up on the full list of impacted road closures that you drivers need to know about, just so you can kind of plan ahead. If you're trying to head in and around downtown Myrtle Beach tomorrow, you can find all of that information included in this web story on WMBFnews.com. We've made it nice and handy and very easy for you to find. All right, going to pop myself back up for just a moment here as we are talking now about the forecast. So starting with the good news. So we will be staying sunny this weekend, but we are also still monitoring some dangerous fire weather conditions tomorrow. We're talking low humidity and more gusty winds, kind of like what we saw yesterday when we saw just that handful of fires sparking up around Horry County, that fire I showed you in Conway, Loris, Longs. So certainly is something to just we are keeping a close eye on and just to be aware of. So the National Weather Service has issued a fire weather watch for the entire area for tomorrow. That means critical fire weather conditions are forecast to occur, and any wildfire that breaks out will have the potential to spread rapidly. So when it comes to temperatures, as you're taking a look here at the Grand Strand 10-day, you can see we will get nicely into the 70s for tomorrow afternoon. So when it comes to your day for making any plans, Saturday is looking really good. I know Rockin' Paws is going on up at Barefoot Landing. Hopefully I'll be able to bring my pups up there because I think that looks like a blast. But again, that is looking like your best day for getting outside and making any of those plans. But once again, add in that humidity and the wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour tomorrow. Again, both of those are factors that could create some pretty favorable conditions for wildfires. So after that, though, you see that big shift and drop in temperatures. That's because we'll see a cold front moving in tomorrow night. That's going to drop our temperatures for Sunday, when we're only talking about afternoon highs struggling to maybe get into the 50s. Then Sunday night into Monday morning, we expect to see our coldest night of the week, and you could even be waking up to some frost on Monday morning. And then as you're looking a little bit farther forward there, you can see our next day, where we are watching some potential severe weather chances. That will be on Wednesday. So you're already seeing it lighting up red. So that's going to be one that we are watching. And anytime you see anything like that, or just in general, it's always a good reason to have the WMBF First Alert weather app on your phone, just to make sure that you are in the loop. All right, let's talk about what we are watching for you at 11. So starting with this one, new at 11. So we got some video capturing pretty dramatic looking fire. This is in the Pine Island area of Myrtle Beach. This is coming to us from Horry County Fire Rescue in these pictures here, but our crew's also getting a view a little before 8 o'clock tonight while driving along Tidewater Road, so just off Waccamaw Boulevard. So Horry County Fire Rescue tells us flames burned 2 tractor trailers that were sitting outside this facility. You can see some of the aftermath there. Wow. So we do know firefighters were able to successfully put out the fires without any injuries being reported here, but looks like not not much to be salvaged there when it comes to that tractor there. So that tractor trailer. So unfortunately, though, it looks like although no injuries were reported, it's a very different story there for the vehicles. So far, again, no word on exactly what may have sparked the fire. But again, the good news is here, no one was hurt. So we'll let you know when and if we learn any new details about what sparked that fire out there. Also, I'm going to pop myself back up here now because what would an update be if I didn't have at least one mugshot for you? I know. The very last one. All right, new at 11, a Georgetown County man is in jail tonight following a chase down Highway 17 earlier today. So Sheriff Carter Weaver confirms this man, 42-year-old Marion J.C. Cooper, was arrested after allegedly fleeing a traffic stop earlier today. So deputies say all of this started when they recognized him as a man wanted on several charges out of both Georgetown and Charleston counties. But when they tried to pull him over, he sped away. So during the chase, though, Cooper was reportedly seen throwing a baggie out of his car while he was going over a bridge. But before it could sink into the river, they sicked a canine after it. And that canine recovered that baggie containing suspected narcotics. So the sheriff's office says the chase ended in the Santee area. Deputies were ultimately able to arrest Cooper, and he is now facing a slew of drug charges as well as failure to stop for blue lights and several other things. Even littering. Whole bunch. You can go to the website and see all the charges over there. He's now being held in the county detention center there in Georgetown County, awaiting a bond hearing. So we will let you know when we get any new updates about his situation. But again, that is a look at some of the stories we have been following for you today. There is more to come if you're able to stay up just about an hour more to join us tonight for WMBF News at 11. But for now, that'll do it here from the WMBF First Alert Desk. Have a good one. Hope to see you on air soon, and have a good weekend.